Mm. First words are a cough. My apologies. And we are Star Citizen Sunday. Uh, Today's goal is to run through some old school loot locations. Trying to get hold of some footage for a video. Um, while we're at it, see if we can find something neat and see where we go. Ultimately, probably end up backing our heads against the wall looking for orange crates again. Either way, we'll see where this takes us. Let's go. Mic a little closer. Make sure it's giving us a good volume. It seems to have a mind of its own. Once we get a bit more traction, I'll spend the money and get a mic arm, and that should make it a bit better. I'm also in a fairly large room, so if I'm not practically on top of the mic, I think it basically loses track of the voice pretty quick. Going into quantum, or at least spooling quantum up so we can go a bit faster. Let's break atmosphere, head over to ArcCorp, head over to Walla, and we'll go to a couple of the mining outposts, some of the old school loot locations. Demonstrate some places to find some stuff early on if you're just starting out is the goal. Hey, baby. It's microjet. It's going to be behind the planet, isn't it? Just to be a pain in the backside. Yep, that'll be it right over there. Alright. We'll jump out to Magda. You can join in. Yeah, I'm just going to go to these locations, so I've got the footage of it, and then once I've got the footage of it, I'll be returning to a hostile distribution to that should be Houston. If it's behind this bloody moon, it's not going to be behind the moon. Where's the plane? It's Ita. I'll stop doing it the difficult way. Line her up. And jump. Almost there. Sorry if anyone can hear the banging. Teenage daughters. Here we are. No, they're alright. If it gets loud enough that it starts getting picked up on the mic all the time, I'll go and have a chat. It's fine. It's the plane. One's broken vandal ship.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
What's we got here? A Valkyrie of some kind.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete. Quantum travel engaged.
45. 45 has more loot. 48. Was it 48? I don't know if it was 48 or 46. I know I said 45 before, but I think it might be 48. Oh no, 45, there you go. And then it's, yeah.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete. Shield on.
Yeah. Righto. Other people are here before me. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I could just be here doing some missions. And gear. So, not a lot of people are aware, but when they introduced the new orange loot boxes with the better gear, these crates now come in three flavors. So you have the standard grey box, which is this one here. Then you have these white boxes. So they all have the same model, they just have different paints. Yeah, if you do a volume check, that'd be great. I did up the gain slightly because it is still further away from me, but I can't do anything about that while I don't have a boom for the mic, boom arm for the mic. Alright, let's there'll be other boxes to check. It's just with that many pieces of armor, I'm not going to have a lot of space. Hey, that sounds pretty good. Seems reasonable. So I'm just going to put all this stuff quickly in the ship storage. Now, a couple of those coloured helmets, because they're gold and silver and all that sort of stuff, while they look fancy, they probably won't be worth any money. But this is not really about money. This is to build up a The idea is a relatively quick and relatively painless way of getting hold of some basic gear to start the game with. Or just in general to make a small amount of money. You're not going to make an absolute fortune off this, but you are going to get essentials. And when you can avoid spending a ton of money on a bunch of useless things, or semi-useless things like bottles of water and stuff, then you can, all the little stuff adds up, like in anything. Another one of the new white boxes, so this should just be armor. And the other thing that can appear in these boxes that you can't get in most loot boxes is you can get some of the old subscriber flare stuff. So if you have a subscription and the game, after a couple of months, each month a new like flare item. Sometimes it's armor, sometimes it's, you know, piece of junk that hangs off the side of your hangs off your dashboard. Sometimes it's a poster. There's all sorts of stuff. But any of the armors and whatnot and weapons that have been in the subscriber flare sets can also spawn in those white chests. Alright, so got one more building to check here. There's usually 3 large buildings and then 1 small, and normally one of the large buildings is powered off. So, like, I think it's this one here. It's all blacked out inside. I do not think when they're powered off like this and they have no oxygen because they're depressurized, I don't think any loot spawns them anymore. And it won't be the same. Spoopy. It won't be the same each time. So if you come here in an hour's time or half an hour's time or tomorrow, it may be a different building that's depressurized. Not entirely sure of the reasoning behind it, but it's something they started a few patches back. Right, so we've been to the other 2 big ones, so then there should be a little building here that lets you normally spawn ground vehicles for the point of loading and unloading. Yeah, it's over there. No, low gravity, so we can bounce around like an idiot. These ones are usually obvious, spawning over here in the corner. But no, nothing. Here, you go to this terminal and you can spawn a ground vehicle.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Please visit us again.
So you can park up here, for example, and if you're going to go do, which is probably what these guys out here are doing, you can go do mining at some of the rocks nearby, so you can spawn your ground mining vehicles. Oh, I fell. Watch that first step, as Bugs Bunny would say. It's a doozy. There's a bunch of freight just lying around, but all of it looks like it might be contracted freight, which is worthless. Yep. Usually if they're a white box, they're contracted. And there's no point even looking at them. On to the next one. There are other locations near here as well. There's a couple of mission locations with wrecked ships and stuff. I think it's like between those two rocks there, and keep flying, and eventually you'll find a crashed ship. If you don't have the mission, that's one of the things you can do. But so that was 45. I'm gonna black out. Go to 61. That'd be the old red shift.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete. Shields on.
That looks like a ground vehicle down there mining. These are mining areas, so a lot of people run like hand mining and vehicle mining contracts out of them. It's literally in their name. One's ground vehicle got flipped. What was that? No idea. Let's see if we can find any more goodies. Do these two buildings on this side, then we'll do the other two buildings. Yep, see?
Welcome to the
No,
ASOP
didn't want to use that
retrieval
terminal.
system. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
You loot the box. What we get? It's like the third set of legs tonight. You're wondering why I keep falling over. And I know at least somebody eventually watching the video will wonder that question. There is actually, it's hard to tell because there's no foliage, but there is a wind blowing. And the winds in the game in some of these areas can get really dangerous. There are some, once or twice, I've landed ships and the wind has pushed the ship around. It's funny to watch, but not when you got to chase your spaceship down a hill. Now the grey ones, if you interact with them and there's nothing worthwhile in them, as long as you take an item out of them, they generally start the respawn process. There is an exception to that rule, and that's at the new facilities where you have to loot the entire box to get it to respawn. I think half of these items are going to be worthless, but oh well. Again, the point for this video is not to so much make money from these runs, but to get the footage of going to these locations and showing where these boxes are. Because this is, you'd only know to come here if you've been playing for a long time. People just don't come to these locations that much anymore, and when they do, they're here for a specific mission, not necessarily to run through a loot run. But at one point it was the easiest way to get access to loot. So that one's run down. What's up? Me? Me or just in video? Oh. Can't they track that? Seems like something you should be able to track. Yep. Alright. Do one more of these and then we'll move to the next location. Now there are similar loot loops you can do in Pyro, but you sort of get the same stuff. And everything's a little further out. Unless you're specifically hunting like Citadel armor, you know, something like that, like the old school heavy armor. There really isn't much point. I mean, you have your contested zones and things like that where there is actually some worthwhile loot in those, but that's not really the point of the video I'm trying to make. So we'll hit up 56 and then we'll head to Not sure.
Quantum travel engaged.
Probably back to Hurston. Because Hurston has a few of the next type of things all in one.
Quantum travel complete. Shield on.
One's just badly parked a raft over there. He says as he almost nosedives the ship. Good thing no one's watching that time. Check out the little building. I still have some stuff in my backpack from the last building we went to. Oh, somebody's been here. So I can't use these in an armistice zone, can we? It's that stuff. It's the I'll tell you what, that venture helmet will be worth nothing. The Arden helmet will be worth something, probably. But the venture will be worth nothing. Yeah, they're pretty cool looking. The set doesn't provide anywhere near enough protection for anything, so I don't bother with it. But they are very transformery. No, now you're fishing. Now you're just fishing for compliments. Nah. No, but there is armor in the game that kind of does look like Bumblebee. Nope. You're just listing names now. there we go. Pembroke helmet's worth a lot. You used to be able to do a thing where you could access your local inventory just by being in an area without having to go to a terminal. So when you came to these locations, you could just open the box and drop them all into the local inventory and then go to your ship and then grab them all from the local inventory. But sadly, that doesn't work anymore now that everything's physicalized items. Ultimately, I think for the better. It's just... Oh, yeah, definitely somebody's been here. No, I don't need true death. True death's not going to be worth anything. Those Inquisitor legs will be. Alright, so we've got a bunch of stuff. Shows my point. Like, we've gotten 2 chest pieces, about 6 helmets, I think one set of arms, and 3 or 4 sets of legs. And a backpack. So within a very short period of time, we could go from having basic Horizon gear that you start with, or Odyssey gear that you start with, and very quickly you can have food, drink, and a competent set of gear to at least get you a good start, and also make a small amount of money. Also, they're really good to remember that they exist if you are out here, say, doing missions, and you are low on hydration, for example, but you didn't bring any food, or you've used it all up. You're almost always going to pick up the cruisers, which are probably the best form of both hydration and satiation stuff in the game, as it does both at the same time. While it's not massive amounts of all of, eat 1 bar and regain 100%, you get 60% of either one at the same time. Kind of makes up for it a little bit. Alright, and we're going to jump back to Hurston. We'll drop what we have managed to get so far off at
Engines off. Engines on. Launch sequence complete.
such a nimble little ship, these Guardians. These Mirai ships. The only problem with them is every single time I take one out, the moment I get into a fight, I'll lose a wing, and then they become just about impossible to steer because of where the engines are mounted.
Quantum travel engaged.
Bring this around so I can see Everest, and we'll go there. I could go down to Lawville, but there's a lot more mucking around once we get on foot.
Systems off. Hello. How can Miss help you today? Systems on. Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
We have a very damaged RSI. We have a Drake Caterpillar. That's where we're going over there.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete. Shield on.
Alright. Close enough to call ATC. Okay. Gotta listen for the little noise. And then it puts me completely opposite of where I'm approaching from. Love it. Polaris overhead. Use the weird external camera there for a second. Gets caught up on the holographic sign out the front and it skews. As you can see, I've been doing a bit of looting already. Oh, okay, must have put it on the ship. That's alright. Probably should have turned it around to make this a bit easier. Actually, here's a question. Do I have a crate? Nope. Let's go. That's another thing I want to try. Up as much room as possible. Oh, they stopped it. Used to be able to jump up. Should I grab that backpack while I'm at it? Maybe one more run. It's definitely not working. Maybe it only works on the MX, which is the model up from this. Where did that go? No clue. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the cargo area and we're going to buy like a 1 or a 2 SCU box. Of course, the other thing everyone might be noticing if they're familiar with the game is how every item is highlighting blue for me. It's because I've turned on a feature in the settings that highlights all the interactables when you mouse over them. Helps quickly identify lootable boxes and containers, etc. when you're running around in the some of the areas trying to find stuff. Wow. Cargo center. Someone said hi. go. 1 SCU. Why am I doing this? Well, I want to test out a theory. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this crate we just bought. Don't use your terminal, I've already got a ship in. Frames are struggling a little bit. Either busy or a really full server about to die. Down to the hangar. Yeah, so anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take this in 1 SCU box and we're going to fill it full of a bunch of stuff that we just looted. And then we're going to go to like the weapons shop. I'm going to see if we can sell it the box. My hope or goal here is to sell the box full of stuff instead of individual items. I have no idea if this is going to work. Do that. If we go armor. Okay. There's my stuff. Yeah, I think they're all still stuck on the pad. What's going on? My tractor beam gun has no tractor beam in it. Oh, I've got 2 tractor beam guns. I'm an idiot. That's better. Okay, so now we have a box full of stuff. Part 2. Send box full of stuff back down. And I'm hoping step 3 is profit. Find out in a second. To the shops. See if this worked. Sell. Right. So this guy won't buy. So it's recognizing that it's not in the normal inventory. I mean, that's a positive thing. So, wrong guy to sell it. So can't sell there. This may not work. Head to the cargo center and see if we can sell it. So it is entirely possible that this doesn't work out anymore, but if it does work, it was going to be a handy tip to tell people. It's not many people knew it. Hey. It's a way around the inability to sell multiple items. Sell. If I go utility. Wants to sell it for $9.57. Okay, let me just check something. So if I buy one, they're worth that. Let's just buy an empty one because I can use them anyway. And then I go sell. And I go utility. No. The goal was to see whether the value of the box increased because there was items in it for sale. Because it used to. You stuffed in a cargo box full of items, and then went to sell the cargo box, you would get a much higher value for the cargo box because it would have the items in it. You'd be effectively selling all the items at once. Now it doesn't recognize it. Could be that it's the wrong vendor. Could be that I've got to be more specific. Got to find one of those general vendors like Kelto that sell weapons, armor, and other bits and pieces. Who knows? Or it just simply got patched out and doesn't work anymore.
Engines on. Launch sequence complete. Landing gear out.
But hang on. I'm heading for a distribution now if you want to come. Hangar request complete. Hangar is still not open. Oh, no, there it is. Thank you. Cheers.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
going to travel to Cutters first. So if we head over to Cutters, at Cutters there is a set of loot. It's quite unique. It's one of the hardest to get in the game still. In fact, other than the brand new heavy armor dropped into the game, it is legitimately the hardest armor to get in the game. Along with the barbarian helmet, which is like a Viking style space helmet. It's pretty cool. But Cutters Rig is an example of a derelict outpost. They come in a few different shapes and forms. These ones in particular are not hostile unless you start shooting everybody. Some are hostile out on the get-go. But these guys have the Dusters. I think it's Dusters. Is the... Oh, look at that, isn't that pretty? Screenshot, citizen. Those God Rays are awesome. Anyway. Oh. Kind of knew that was coming. Most server errors these days are a minute or under, so we'll just give it a second and see if it comes good. Otherwise, we may be preemptively ending the stream. Squeaky chair. So, how about that weather, huh? Can't even really blame bad connection or anything. One, our internet's good, and two, I'm on live, not PTU. There we go. There are a couple of ships down here, but doesn't necessarily mean anything. So this is one of the main places. There's a handful of these. They're all like little named outposts and whatnot, but oil rig is by far the coolest. At any rate, come over here near where this flame is. Without crashing into the water would be handy. Stick my landing gear down so we move a bit easier. A bit of a zoom in. There he is. See that guy with the cape over there? Yeah. So this just turned interesting. He's really rare. Didn't actually expect to see him. Alright, well, okay. Let's shoot up a bunch of innocent people so we can get one set of armor. There he is. Go with the cape. Wow, I hate cannons. There's two guys down. Oh, he's gonna suck. Just... Come on. There he is. So they're size 5, so if I hit a guy with them, they're gonna die. Quick is to hit people with them. Oh, come on. I could get out. I could actually shoot these guys normally, but, you know. I swear that Can you stop shooting me with pea shooters, please, people? Why did that not hit him? I mean, I'm tearing the water up. That's a really cool effect, but I'll shoot the dudes. Hello to everyone watching, because there's a few of you in the chat in there now, but you're not chatting. It's okay to say hello. Am I... Oh, come on. Maybe it's because I'm too zoomed in, it's hard to hit. They're moving. That lit... That literally hit the dude like 3 or 4 times. As you can see the impact. How did the guy behind him not die? This is ridiculous. Oi. I too am bewildered. This is clearly not the ship for this. Seriously. It's actually really frustrating because shots that should hit then go stray. Riveting. It's annoying because I'm moving really with tiny micro adjustments on my controls, but the ship will then just sway. So the shots, like, without moving my mouse around or without moving any controls around, the shots don't land in the same place.
Shield under attack.
I'm just going to peel out for a second because somebody just shot me through my glass somehow. That was quite hilarious. It's frustrating because I've got to get close enough that I can actually land the shot, because otherwise you just end up hitting like random debris and stuff instead of the actual locations you're trying to shoot. Yes, I'm getting shot again through the glass, which just shouldn't happen. Small arms fire shouldn't be able to get through the ship. Might stop on something.
Shield under attack.
Yep, see, 37% health again. It's just crazy.
Landing successful. Engines off.
Oh dear. Peekaboo. Still a guy up there somewhere with a really heavy weapon, because I heard it shooting at me before. Right, that's... Yep, there's someone still there with a heavy weapon. What am I getting stuck on? And not to be grumpy or anything, but we all saw him die. Oh, still getting shot at. Was he down there, maybe? It's the guy that shot at me. Yep, someone still doesn't like me. So after all that, I can't find the guy's corpse. I think he might have despawned, yeah. Or he's fallen through, one of the two. In fact, like, most of the corpses aren't here. Because no, he was on that platform there. He should have. That's where he should be. Still one guy around here throwing grenades at me and shooting at me, but I can't work out where he is. And all these corpses are here. Yeah, he should have been here. Even if he died and tumbled, his corpse should be down there. No, it's not. Unless it's over there. I'll go look, but anyway. I came here to demonstrate the fact that there's a guy that can spawn here that has really rare armor. And it's super cool and has a cape and blah, 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 blah. And there, he was right in front of us. At any rate. It's really good heavy armor. It has a really good backpack with lots and lots of room in it. It's, I think it's my wife's favourite armor so far in the game too. Which makes it even better. But yeah, this dude's corpse just poof, disappeared. Oh, been there, been there, been there. He was definitely on this side when I killed him. If I hang around here too long, someone's going to kill me just because I'm here. Oh well. I mean, I've already got it. It's not like I need another set. Could sell it, I suppose. But either way, in the spirit of the video, like learning where some loot and stuff is, yep, this is where some rare loot spawns. You can get a bunch of really cool clothing as well. Most of these guys have ammo and weapons to some degree. You can take these areas out and these locations out without having to go full crazy like I just did. Like shooting them with ships and then running in and mopping up. It is possible to stealth target some of the guys, not this particular location, because it's fairly well protected, but some of the ground-based locations, Whaling Cove, I think it is. There's a bunch of them. There's they've all got names. It's how you sort of know you're in the right spot. I'm just doing laps at this point. Anyway, there is a rare box here. Not a rare one, doesn't have a purple light, but better than nothing. Yeah, I get the feeling like it, because like there's all the weapons, but there's no bodies, so I think he's despawned. Climb up here just as a matter of chance, just in case. Hang on, is that him? No, I don't think so. No. I'll take his shirt. Alright. Move on. Anyway. This is a good place to find that guy. Just clearly don't leave him too long or he despawns.
Engines on. Launch sequence complete. Landing gear up.
Righto. Should be close to the horizon line. Maker's Point is another location that often spawns the guy. Yeah, I could just search it, but it was supposed to be easy. Alright, I'll do it the proper way. Probably moused over that about 5 times. Alright, let's go land elegantly.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
See how much I can push my luck. Gee, if only I could see the ground. Well, apparently the weather's shit. All those red lights are not friends. A very quick window to get off this before we get blown to smithereens while standing next to the ship. Alright, got a couple of seconds. Let's fix the hydration issue. Litter. Restock our ammo. And let's play the orange box nightmare game. See what we can find. Do, 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 do. An orange box, but it's something. Told you it came up. Sneaky bugger. I can still hear footsteps. What is that noise? Yeah, I thought that noise I can hear was footsteps, but I can't, but it's not. Got no idea what that noise is. Another person. Excuse me, sir. Gimme. Some weird ass sound coming from this building. Pretty sure this is where I first popped in. So I think I looted that. Yep, I did. So those guys must be repops, because there's no way I wouldn't have run into at least two of them. Not entirely a terrible thing. Let's just check on top of these boxes. So what I've got is I've got the highlight lootables turned on. Because what's happening in a bit of a bug at the moment is that some boxes are actually spawning on top of each other. So you can get 2 or 3 boxes of the same size spawning in the same location. But when you loot one and empty it, it's no longer interactive for a moment, and if you have the highlight turned on, you can see if there's a second box there. If there is, you can usually click it and loot it. Okay, let's keep going this way. So I am going the right way, moving away from where I came in. Just checking all the walkways and hidey holes. Now, I've not been lucky enough to find an orange box yet, but I found plenty of the grey ones here, and obviously a few of the white ones as well, and they all share the same spawn. So, in theory, where I find one, eventually I should find the others. But stuff like that keeps throwing me off. See the little orange light there? Yeah. From a distance, I keep getting tricked by them. There's that noise again. Okay, just gonna check up here. I'm not entirely sure if that was the sound of me jumping that rail or if someone took a shot at me while I was moving. Yeah. Medical box here. Let's grab one of those to start the respawn on it. So as far as I'm aware, from what I can tell, from what I've done, from the amount of times I've been around this roller coaster carousel, only the grey boxes really need to be rotated completely. Like, you need to loot the entire internals worth. If you don't, then it can take much longer for the internals to respawn. For the new box to respawn, I should say, not internals. Yeah, we want to go that way. Not used to being on this side of things. Normally I run the other side. They're almost identical, but it's the fact that it's all backwards throws me. Cheeky grey box. Again, you can see why I've got the loot thing on. So these boxes are the ones you're supposed to strip bare, because otherwise they take longer or won't repop. Supposedly. Everything else seems to repop just on opening it. or taking one item out of them. I think it depends on the generation of the box, right? So if they are a older generation loot box, interacting with them alone is often enough to do something about them. So that'll now start its respawn timer. But with the newer style boxes, they have to be completely emptied. So the grey boxes, sorry, other way around. The newer style boxes, the more specific ones, will start their respawn just by being opened or having one item removed. But the older style, like the grey boxes, which are some of the original loot boxes from the game, seem to need their contents emptied to start the respawn. Which calls back to a problem we used to have with them when they were doing a Halloween mask event shortly after they first introduced derelict outposts. And that was where people would open the boxes, loot the mask, and then leave the box there. And so the box would just infinitely sit there with nothing in it, or one item in it, till eventually someone else came along and looted it. But play a ground vehicle there, so I'm definitely not the first person here. Doesn't necessarily mean something. It could have been here a while. The problem is with the Thought I heard a pistol. Server tick rate is terrible. It's affecting the FPS. Wow, that was some terrible latency. Okay, that'll take me up to the other section, which I do want to go there. I actually want to be there more than I want to be here, but I do want to check the downstairs. You walked into that one. I do want to check the downstairs, the little sub area. Just trying to see if I can see anybody obvious. One of these days I'll do a head count as I come through here and work out exactly how many guys are in the room. I think it's between 5 and 10, but I'm not 100% sure. It's I should be able to shift and click these to put them on, but it doesn't always work. So I'd rather drag it, know that it's working, than shift click it and then find out halfway through a firefight I didn't have the ammo on me that I'm supposed to. There's bound to be at least one guy still left down here somewhere. Yep, somebody spotted me. Either someone spotted me or I'm not alone. Either one has a distinct possibility. Usually if there's a box, it's here. This one can spawn here, but it's bugged. You can't quite get close to it. This doesn't help things. No. Alright. Let's head up to where I want to be. Got these stairs. Get through the security checkpoint. And, you're not even curious as to what made that noise. Wow. Need to get a refill for that med gun. Alright. So we're almost done with the loot run, and then once this is done and dusted, I will be signing out for the night. and then I'll continue. I might actually, like, normally I'm streaming Sunday, and then sometimes if there's an event going on, I'll stream also on Thursday. But may stream tomorrow just quickly. Because I'm trying to get footage for a video. So we will see what happens. Yeah, see, one can spawn here under the table. A lot of people miss it because it blends in very well, but still not an orange one. And one can spawn under the stairs. Other than that, the room I dropped into, you can get one in both sections of that drop down that I did. And beyond that, basically, there's a slim chance you'll find one upstairs. It's pretty slim. Well, the roof is the other reasonable spot. Wow, the lag on the server today is really bad. It's really making the frame rate choppy from time to time. You can tell we're close to another patch because the effort is on getting the other patch released rather than the maintenance of the existing patch. So you always see servers start to back up a little bit just before a new patch drops. Okay, so this is the roof access area, and you can 3 or 4 different grey boxes, and assuming if a grey box spawns, and so can a orange box, spawn in these ducts. You can get 2 in here at once. You can get them under here. You can get them in that middle section. You can get one right up near this front door. So you can get some here, and you can get one right here, sort of tucked up against this grate. And this is the roof. Also not a terrible place to look because sometimes you get people's dead ships. And sometimes those ships have the gear on it, or have gear on it. And I have found 1 or 2 boxes in this hallway, and that's it. Anyway, not that much today. I did get some stuff. I'm not unhappy. I'm not dead. That's a good thing. So we are going to leave it there, and I will probably be on again tomorrow night purely to try to grab some more footage for this up and coming video. There's 2 that I'm in the middle of working on. There's one with Captain Catan, which will be a full guide to essentially starting from nothing, load in the game, and what do you do, what do you find, how do you play it, where should you start, and so we're trying to make it an extremely comprehensive guide. And then the other video I'm working on is like a starting guide to loot, which is part of what I'm looking for today. Permanent locations in the game that either have or can have relatively good loot with low risk or lower risk, so that new players can approach them. But yeah, I'm going to call it there. And yeah, hopefully see everybody on the next one.